Good morning, Hoosiers. Primary season is upon us, and I am hearing a lot of candidates throw around the word grassroots and not always using it in the correct way. So this morning, I thought that we would break it down, talk about what the term grassroots actually means and who it does and doesn't apply to. So grab your coffee, your Dr. Pepper, and let's try to make it make sense. When we say that a candidate is grassroots, this can really mean two things. They can either be a grassroots organizer or a grassroots fundraiser. Now, a grassroots organizer is somebody who is just able to get a group of local volunteers to knock doors, to phone bank in the community, to canvass, organize rallies and events. The candidate trying to cosplay as grassroots might even adopt language like saying, "I'm fighting for working families," or encourage you to share this message online or with your church group. The opposite of grassroots organizing would be what happened in the last presidential election, where the DNC tried to convince us that Joe Biden was in the prime of his health. After we saw his brain melting out of his ear at that debate, they decided to switch it up and put in Kamala Harris. And that is a top-down approach. That is not grassroots organizing. We did not hold a primary. Instead, the DNC said, nope, it's Kamala, it's her turn. You'll shut up, fall in line, and vote for her if you're a Democrat, because that's what we told you to do. That is the antithesis of grassroots organizing. That is AstroTurf. Grassroots fundraising, on the other hand, is what people are talking about when they say that they want a grassroots candidate. The organizing is assumed. We assume that you are grassroots organized. Otherwise, we think that that's antithetical to democracy. Grassroots funding just means that the candidate is reliant on small dollar donors, individuals donating $5, $10, $15, $25, $50, not a large dollar donor like Mark Rowan, Deborah Simon, Herbert Simon, who are donating anywhere from, $10,000, $25,000, $50,000, or Robert Johnson with $300,000, right? Or in the case of J.D. Ford, who is getting thousands of dollars from General Motors. He took money from Anthem, from CVS Caremark, from Duke Energy. That is not grassroots funded. That is corporation funded. Working class people want to know that you will have working class interests at heart when we send you to Congress. And we cannot assume that you will have working class interests at heart when you take money from the very people who oppress and suppress the working class. Does my husband's a mechanic? Does my husband think that J.D. Ford would have a mechanic's best interest at heart when he's taking $2,000 from General Motors? Absolutely not. I have psoriatic arthritis. I want to see universal health care in this country. Healthcare just should not be tied to our employment. It's inhumane. And I want to see an ability to negotiate prescription drug prices, because the fact that my Enbrel costs $10,000 a month in America when it does not cost that around the fucking world is insane. It is insane. But do I think that J.D. Ford would unapologetically fight for me in Congress, getting me universal health care and an affordable prescription when Anthem is my insurance and CVS Caremark is my pharmacy and he's taking money from both? Absolutely not. But anyways, Hoosiers, I really hope that this helped. I hope that now you can tell the difference when somebody is describing to you, calling a candidate grassroots and describing to you a grassroots organizer, but not grassroots funded. Their filings, their campaign finance filings will tell you differently. It is so important that you look up and see who they are being financed by, because that will tell you everything you need to know. It will tell you what votes they will take in their positions of power. It will tell you who they will look out for in these positions of power. And it is time that we start electing working class people who have working class interests to halls of power, not people who claim to be working class and grassroots, but take money from General Motors, CVS, and Anthem.